Okay, so this is a seated hinge, or you can also call it a seated good morning. There's many different variations of it, so I'll give you a couple options. So you just gotta find a nice seat. We're gonna open up our legs. Ideally, we want the knees to be tracking over the toes. The easier version is to start with your heels directly underneath your knees. So this is a nice strong stance here. You're gonna find a neutral spine. So you just don't wanna be too rounded like this, and we don't wanna be hyper extended. So somewhere in the middle, and we're gonna just solidify this position. And we're gonna fold forward. So as you fold forward, you're trying your best not to collapse your spine. You're kind of leading with the sternum. And you'll reach a point where you'll feel the inner thighs or the adductors and the hamstrings start to lengthen and stretch. So once you've kind of reached an end point here, what you're gonna do is push your feet hard into the ground, and that's gonna give you the force to propel yourself back to this seated position. You wanna try your best not to come up by peeling with your back. That's a common mistake that I see. So keeping the spine neutral, you're using your legs to drive your body upright. We can also play around with our foot position here too. So like I said, if your heels are right underneath your knees, that'll be pretty easy. But we can work on lengthening the hamstrings a little bit more. If we want to find more length through the hamstrings, you're just going to walk your feet beyond your knees. And we just do the same thing. You may notice that you can't go as far with this movement, but you're still going to be loading your adductors and your hamstrings, and you're still going to think about pushing into the ground, but you might find more length here through the hamstrings. We could also load this movement in a variety of ways. You can hold weights, whether it's dumbbells or kettlebells or a sandbag, in front of your body like this. Just make sure you keep your spine neutral. You can hold something in a front rack grip, so maybe in front here. This is another version. We just load in various ways. You can hold something over, like just behind your back too. So often this is loaded with a barbell. But I have a stick here, so it's called a seated good morning. I'm just gonna rest it on my traps, and it's just a different way to move your body through this motion. So you have many different options. Start with a body weight variation, and then you can start playing around with loading it if you feel comfortable doing so. Give it a try.